money machine made out of people. So the execution of the money machine falls largely in Mike's hands. I present to you Mr. Michael McKinney.
Real quick, a little brief so you can understand, because without knowing where I come from, you might not take what I'm saying seriously, and you should catch some of this. And I want to go into my title. My name is Mike McKinney, affectionately known as Fat Mike or Ted, depending on what part of the country you live in. It's 300 pounds larger last year, so it's different. Don't congratulate me, I cheated. Basically, I went to University of Buffalo. I went to SUNY Marshall, then I attended University of Buffalo. I was a mechanical and aeronautical engineering major. I sipped the Kool-Aid a long time ago, and I knew well a long time ago that this was not going to be my path to financial independence, nor was this going to be the way I was going to be able to make a difference. Which, making a difference actually didn't become important to me until probably the last year or so of my life, which is kind of embarrassing, being over 40. But what happened, pretty much what happened is, I have my own company. Before that, let's rewind. The most important thing about what you take from here is, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand why go green light? Why do things like this? Why? Because there are tons of people out there who call themselves coaches. And they'll, for a nice fee, they'll call you every day. They'll text you something cute and witty, and they'll give you, go ahead, girl, you can do it. All right? That's not a coach. That's a cheerleader. All right? A coach, often, a coach was a player himself at one point in time, and in the game, and in those situations. So he's not sitting back saying, wow, 3 seconds on the clock, we got 2 people hurt, you ready? Huh, he's hot, defense, we doing, what do we do? No, because he's been there before. He's been there personally before. And my title with the company, Vice President of Client Services, so it's a nice way to say crash test dummy. And the reason I say crash test dummy is because I'm one of those people, perfect example is us coming up when we got pulled over. We in the car, we doing 80, I see the 2 state troopers, I'm from the Bronx, my routine was, what? Why you want to know? You know, so we start, I see the lights. First we got a little moment to debate. Are they going to pull us over? They got close, they didn't pass. I said, they're going to pull us. Yeah, they're going to pull us. We all agreed. We about to get pulled over. Sure enough, we see Christmas tree lights in the back. We get pulled over, and Terrence says, he hits the button, turns the light on. I'm like, what the hell are you trying to light on? Why is he making all these big arm movements? Homie, put your hands on the wheel and sit still. He's moving and reaching. And I'm like, we about to get killed. Oh God, I'm like, how do I explain this to Terrence, you know? And sometimes I doubt Terrence's hood pass. You know what I'm saying? Does he know what he's doing? So he hits the light. He rolls down every window. I said, he's rolling down the window. They're going to think we're smoking. All of this seemed crazy and foreign. He hit the lights. He rolled down every window. He looked over and he said, if the moon roof was tinted, it'd be open too right now. Okay, well, just sit back and watch, brother. Officer walked up. Flashlight hit the back window. Before he got to the front window, Terrence reached in his inside pocket and said, we're definitely shot now. This brother gets shot by himself. I might be CEO. So I said, he went inside his inside pocket, he takes out his wallet, he opens his wallet, before the cop even got there. The wallet wasn't even on bail. Be safe, gentlemen, and turned around. I was done. I was ready to call baby moms and apologize. I was done. What happened was, there are a certain amount of sequences and there are things that were involved in that I wasn't aware of. Opening the windows, make it easier for the officer, make the vehicle more visible, let the officer be comfortable. Put the light on so he can see what's going on. Right? These were all part of a preset procedure that I wasn't privy to. My hood pass was valid. I ain't got one of them passes, right? He had one of them passes, so he knew what to do. Therefore, when he engaged the opposition, they reacted accordingly. Because he was in a situation where there's a preset of protocol, and there's a way that you have to institute it with a little flair and a little finesse, and he got the accomplished results about it. Done. It's the same thing in business. There were times when I used to sit back and I say, I got this business thing. Because for years, I was the de facto source in the hood. Go ask Fat Mike. Fat Mike, no, yeah, him and his mom's always opening stuff. Me and my mom's done everything together from self-sec toys to pump real estate. Okay? I kid you not. Yes. Grown man, him and my mom selling sex. Mom, could you pass me the dildo? Thank you. Been there, okay? And what I learned, and I learned different things and doing these businesses and so forth, and you have your peaks and your valleys and your wins and your losses, and it wasn't until I had a mentor. And my mentor, he told me, he showed me, he cultivated me, and yet and still, I wasn't convinced. Just like last night, he could have told me that 1,200 times. Listen, I've been in this situation before. You open all the windows, you turn on the lights, you wait till it gets close, you pull out the wire, and I said, boy, you crazy. That's not, because that's not my experience. All right? You pay people to do what they do for a reason. I have an expression that I use, CTC. Cut the check. I'm not a plumber. I don't crawl under the sink. It's not what I do. All right? I'm pretty sure I probably could fix the pipe, but how much more is it going to cost me? What was my time worth that I went under there when I could have just cut the check and paid the man to do what he do? You pay people for their experiences when their experiences work. All right? And obviously, these experiences work. All right? And I say crash test dummy because, real quick, I'm wrapping it up. I say crash test dummy because last year I was 300 pounds. I was homeless. I was on my back when I was in my grandmother's back room, and I was figuring out what to do in life. The year before that, I got diagnosed with food poisoning 5 times. Now, I know me being greedy, I might catch it a little more than everybody else, but 5 times was kind of nuts. And at the time, I was working, doing corporate credit work on 34th, and I'm on a train. I'm looking 9 months pregnant. My colon is bulging out. I see the sign that says Columbia Presbyterian. I stumble off the train. I go in. They say, sir, you have diverticulitis. We need to do surgery. We need to wait 6 months because you're inflamed. Do surgery. They took me out of work. I couldn't work. I was on my back. 6 months. When they got time to do the surgery, I had another flare. They went back in. After surgery, I'm smiling. They come in. Did the surgeon give you any theories? What do you mean theories? I thought this was, it was like, oh no, we'll let them explain. Come to find out I have diverticulitis in a very rare form. 2 to 3 of these little blockages or abscesses in your intestines is a major need for surgery. And the last 14 inches of my intestine, they have 15 pouches. I got 9 other pouches that they can't get to in the higher regions. So it's really not a matter of if I'm going to have another outbreak, it's when, which I'm in right now. But it's a difference between being stressed and hurt and being happy and hurt. Okay? Like I said, you got to find what your passion, and you got to find how you're going to make a difference out there. All right? So being sick, I went and had the surgery. I'm broke. I'm in grandma's house. What am I going to do for money? Now I had the surgery. Everything's going to get better, right? No. 14 trips to the ER, still sick. Doctor said, you got to find your passion and get happy. I started a company. I started doing things. I outsourced a lot of services to Greenlight. I said, I'm the de facto source in the hood. Let me start doing business coaching. Because I know, I've been there. I've done that. I've lost the business. I've built the business. I've won. I've done it all. So why not pass those experiences on? Because at the very least, I can save somebody some money. That 10 you're about to do right there, don't do that. You might as well flush that. Do this. Okay? So that's what it was. So now, I was outsourcing a lot of services to Greenlight. Greenlight asked me what my assumption number is. If you're entrepreneurs out there, that what I just said got you very happy. You got the tingly warm. That's what you want to hear. What's your assumption? What does it take to buy your business? Why are you doing this? You're not starting this business as a hobby. You're not doing this as a hobby that makes money. You're doing this to get assumed by a larger company. You want your payout, your exit strategy. That's profound to me because we never taught in building something, think about the exit. I'm telling you now, if I tell you nothing else, know your exit strategy. Start thinking on it today. You got what you want to start, but know how you want to finish. Because what's in between is going to be what's known as the journey, and that's where all the fun is. Okay? So, when they asked me my number, I said, yeah, this is my number. And I'm not knowing it, didn't put it high, this is my number. And the reciprocation had that number and a set of keys on top. BMW keys? I got a caravan. Thus, I took on that title. Okay? And what I've learned, and where it is that, the wrapping up is, what it's done for me is brought me to a place where now, not only am I working on my passion, I can make a difference, which was never important to me before. Do me, make sure me and mine is all right, and let them do whatever they do. But that kid you walk past might be the same kid that robbed you 10 years from now, or break in your house, or get your daughter knocked up. So you have a vested interest in each other. All right? No man is an island. All right? And that's how you're going to judge the end. What was your mark? And you can't do that alone. So now it puts me in a position where I can actually make a difference, helping my people, making a difference, helping you grow your businesses, because that's the only way that black people are going to be in the road to true empowerment is through financial grace, one step at a time. Thank you. Greenlight's in the house.